welcome to the Saturday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmers. Mark, Irish Day at Ascot should be a cracking 8-race card.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of green around the track. Welcome to our viewers. But Adam, we've got some fantastic racing with the likes of the Arlec Australia Belgravia Stakes, the headline act.
Yeah, looking forward to getting into that. Of course, that'll be in the second part of this Box Seat program. Let's get straight into it and take a look at the conditions that we are going to be facing. We do have a very good day of racing, some easterly breezes and the rail out 3 metres, which does suggest it may be hard to catch some good leaders, Mark.
Indeed, Adam. We'll get straight into it. Race number 1, the Savannah Home Loans Handicap, over 1,200 metres. And Adam, our replay horse is another Cerise White runner, Astronomite. Let's have a look at its most recent trial.
Is Rough to Toff. At the 250, Astronomite is cruising up on the outside. Rough to Toff out wider, just being nibbled at to go with it. So it's Astronomite and Rough to Toff coming together. Kalita back on the inside and battling on Meter Mac, but it's Astronomite just with her head in front. On the outside, Rough to Toff. Maserati late, but Astronomite stretches out now, and Astronomite wins by 1.
All class, this 4-year-old gelding won 3 in a row at the end of last campaign, winning by 2 lengths, 1.5 lengths, and then a long neck as well. Had a spell. The recent trial was very good. Astronomite just appears to be the logical choice in this race from barrier 4. Wants further than 1,400 metres, but I think class is enough to get the job done.
Wasn't really a trial either. It was more a breeze up the way it hit the line, so there looks to be plenty left in the tank and should go well first up. Adam, of the other runners in this race, I can't really see too many others troubling it. Potentially Pinzu from the inside barrier was a good run at Bunbury last start behind Cracker Vision, and of course Cracker Vision in the field, who's building quite a nice record for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, there really is not much else to go at. So Cracker Vision has met Pinzu, I think, 2 or 3 times and beaten it every single time. So that is something to take note. But Pinzu only lost by 0.8 lengths last start, gets a 1.5 kilo swing, but the bar plates are on. So that's something to take note of as well. I think Riverdance as well as a horse that certainly has plenty of ability, has come back from throat surgery. So I'll be intrigued to see how that horse does go first up. But I just can't go past number 2 Astronomite. I think it's one of the better bets of the day. From 4 Cracker Vision, 6 more aces and 7 Riverdance.
I tend to agree, Adam. I've got the 2 on top as well. Astronomite from the 4 Cracker Vision, 1 Pinzu and 6 more aces.
Race number 2 at Ascot, it's over the 1,800 metres, and Mark, there's not too much logical speed in this race. Faux Shizzle one that's definitely going to roll forward. Other than that though, most of them will rely on their turn of foot, and I think the Cerise White runner's certainly got a good one of that.
Yeah, as does our replay horse from the Nick Cox yard, Lone Sailor. Let's have a look at it winning last start at Northam.
Stormy Grace well back, and still last is McCatie's Keeper. He shakes the leader up at the 300. Chancery still 2 in front of Penthouse Pet. Kostya Zilch now down the outside. Starkle, big time flirt. Lone Sailor. It's Chancery in front. Penthouse Pet, Kostya Zilch and Starkle running on, and so's Lone Sailor. Lone Sailor is starting to rocket down the outside. Went up, grabbed the lead. He's got them late. Lone Sailor.
It's an interesting galloper. Lone Sailor has now won 2 of its past 3, and the stable have such a big opinion of this galloper. They believe that they can end up going to the Perth Cup, and the further this horse gets, the better it will be. So up to the 1,800 metres, this is a big positive. However, it's now meeting some really good company. You take a look at the horses it's beaten: Argyle Express, and then beating Penthouse Pet. They are nowhere near the Dust Me Offs, Faux Shizzle, Royal Supreme, those types here. So it's a small field. There's probably 3 that are real standout on form, and then the rest just fall in behind them. And now we get to see where Lone Sailor measures up.
Yeah, son of Harlebeck. I really like how these Harlebeck progeny have really nice turns of speed at the end of a long staying trip, and 1,800 metres will suit. You mentioned the form lines might not be there, and one for the Perth Cup, I don't think this year, but maybe next year, so it's certainly one to watch out for. Adam, Royal Supreme, the Cerise and White runner you mentioned at the top there. William Pike rides for Grant and Alana Williams. Barrier 1 looks ideal.
This horse runs for one person and one person only, and that is William Pike. At last start, beaten 4 lengths when Randy Tan hopped on board. That was at Bunbury over the 1,400 metres. You go to the starts before, good form lines around Flying Raw, and also Uptown Funk was an impressive winner from barrier 12. We can't forget the ride of William Pike on that occasion when he just zigzagged through the field from the tail end as well. So he takes the ride again from barrier 1. I think they can just sit a little bit closer. As I said, other than Faux Shizzle, Dust Me Off, will roll forward as well, there is not a lot of speed. So I think Royal Supreme, if it comes down to a sprint test, this will be the horse to beat.
Just quickly, number 2, Faux Shizzle from the Darren McAuliffe yard. Gee, these universal rulers just run for him. Darren McAuliffe, all of his gallopers just are very honest and give you a good run for your money every time they go around.
When you're introducing that, I was just trying to think of the word to use, and you've just used it. Honest is the word. That is all you need for the likes of these Faux Shizzles, Mambo Cadsies, these type as well. They're no world beaters. They've got their good ones like Military Rain and that as well, but these are just honest gallopers that are going to go around and get you a check through races, and she should be able to cross from that wide gate, lead them up, and on a leader's day, she might be hard to get past with that fight as well. But I'm going to go with the turn of foot of Royal Supreme on top. From 2 Faux Shizzle, 5 Lone Sailor, and 6 the Forgotten One.
Number 5 for me, Lone Sailor. I really like him stepping up to 1800 metres. From the 3, Royal Supreme, 2, Faux Shizzle, and the 4, Magic Rocket.
Race number 3 at Ascot. It's over the 2200 metres, and Mark, in this 8-race field, 7 of these went head-to-head last start. It was Kirov Boy that proved too good.
Wasn't that a great race to watch, Adam, at Bunbury that day? We'll have a look at Kirov Boy winning that day on the 12th of October.
Legs going up near the middle, followed by Fulgur. Cougar Knights next. Kirov Boy still the leader at the 200 by 2 lengths to Vidello Blue. Dust Me Off. Charlestown taking a day to wind up. Kirov Boy still clear. Here comes Charlestown. It's Kirov Boy though in front. He's clinging on. Charlestown won't get to him. This has been a game ride, a heady ride, a great ride to win it.
It was a really good ride by Molly Clark on that occasion. Arthur Mortimer was actually called into the stewards room after and saying, well, how on earth does this performance happen from what we'd seen recently? You only had to look at the last start, was beaten 11.5 lengths, but as he mentioned, they're able to work into the race nicely, go around the field, and it was a drop back in class as well. Now, hopefully these guys have caught onto it now, and when I say these guys, the jockeys, and just realise you can't let Kirov Boy just roll out in front, especially with the conditions that they're going to be faced with on Saturday. So I expect William Pike to be a little bit more prominent on Charlestown, also Brad Parnham on Cougar Knights, and I don't think they'll let Molly Clark get as far in front, but he can win again.
I tend to agree, but there's not too many horses that can go with it when it does make that dash, so I don't think too many of these are genuine stayers. Number 2, Charlestown, looks the one for me. If it can get a card up behind the rest of the field, it should certainly be in the mix.
Gets a 1 kilo swing for that 1.3 length defeat. And as I said, out of all of these that are matching up, Cougar Knight gets 1.5 kilos for 2 lengths. Already Famous gets 3.5 kilos for 4 lengths. I think Charlestown is the biggest threat, and that's the way I'll be tipping in this race. From 8 Cougar Knights, 1 Kirov Boy, and 6 Already Famous.
Yes, I've got the exact same Quinella as you, Adam. Number 2, Charlestown, ahead of number 8, Cougar Knights, 4, Vidello Blue, and 1, Kirov Boy.
Race number 4 at Ascot. It's over the 1200 metres. And Mark, this is a race that I'm really looking forward to. I know that you have a good opinion of Juwendis. You've been looking forward to seeing this horse get back to Ascot. And a horse that I really like and you probably haven't seen run in person yet is coming back. A very impressive victory at Bunbury. Has really good Ascot form as well, and couldn't have been more impressed with that victory at Bunbury.
I do remember earlier on in the year when it ran second at Ascot behind Regal Commander. But we'll have a look at the replay of last start win at Juwendis, beating Cool Image a nose.
And does so now. Outside of it is War God, who's under a lot of pressure, and Big Setup getting an inside run, and Cool Knight is coming down the outside, but here's Juwendis getting out of a pocket and coming after Card Knight with War God and Cool Knight down the outside is Juwendis, War God and Card Knight, and on the inside kicking back Crusoe, Juwendis, they hit it, Juwendis.
It was a nice win there by Juwendis, and there's no doubt that this galloper has class, and we've seen that throughout the campaign. I think you and I have been pretty keen on it throughout in most of its runs as well, and although this isn't the best 66 plus, I think the top 2 some of the main chances are very good. So I think coming back is clearly a 72 plus horse, and Antique Dream is another one that we have a good opinion of. Now, we will learn a lot more about this 4-year-old gelding. Is he quite up to this company? We'll wait and see. I've got him in for second, and I still do think he can win, but I think coming back is certainly the horse to beat.
Yeah, if you take the form lines, Juwendis beat War God by about a length. War God's since come out and won the race. Juwendis was scratched from actually, but on that form, it should be winning this 66 plus affair, Juwendis. Number 1 coming back, as you mentioned, Adam, was a really good performance, beating Scales of Justice. Highly spruiked Scales of Justice on that occasion. They obviously think it can carry weight as well, this high gelding by High Chaparral. So with the 59 kilos, it'd be interesting to see how Randy Tan tactically rides the race. And number 3, Antique Dreams. You can never dismiss Bob and Sandra Peters' runner.
Yeah, it's interesting when you analyse those form lines, because War God wouldn't get within 5 lengths of coming back, and that's where we have to now weigh up the weight differential, how Juwendis is going to go in the small field, the speed that's in the race as well. And I do think it actually matches out pretty perfect for Juwendis. But coming back for mine is the class horse. So it's gone to some very good races. When you see the form lines around, you mentioned Regal Commander, Rebel Sun, those types as well. They are elite in this type of company. The 2 kilo claim will help. And Antique Dream with the 2 kilo claim, very good second up form. Take a look at the track record as well. 6 attempts at Ascot for 4 victories and a third. So this horse does really enjoy when she comes back and gets to race at Ascot as well. I think it is a race in 3, and it is those 3 in my opinion, but I've decided to go with coming back from Juwendis, Antique Dream, and then Lenience.
I do have the same 3 on top as well in slightly different order. Number 8, Juwendis, one of my best bets for the day. Ahead of the 3, Antique Dream, 1 coming back, and 4, Stable Secret.